I've had a very satisfying experience investing with IPV. I started investing I started my investment in a startup fund in 2018. So IPV was my first experience of investing in a startup directly or through an AIF, and I found it extremely enlightening, as well as I find the whole IPV process extremely rigorous and disciplined. And I think the greatest investors in the world talk about disciplined investing, including Warren Buffett, and that's what I like about the IPV process. I think IPV's biggest contribution has been that they bring very good qualified leads to the table. They elicit investor views right at the pitch stage of the founder. They ask you to fill up a form, and they take very good feedback, and they act on the feedback. And so I think it's been a complete loop of where it's a very participative process, I would say. I started investing in startups through a fund in 2018, which is focused on AI and robotics. But that's an indirect way of investing. You have little to contribute other than give a go and no-go decision on individual investments. And then in 2019, I became COO and CFO of my own startup, where I've invested money. And I just felt that the timing was right. The Prime Minister Modi's startup initiative was taking off. We are now the third largest startup ecosystem. And I was looking for a good angel network to make my first direct investments. And IPV came along and ticked all the boxes. And that's why I started with IPV. And that's why I went ahead with the IPV network. And it's been, as I mentioned earlier, a very satisfying experience. And that's why I increased my startup allocation, because I just felt that it promotes entrepreneurship, innovation in the country. And me being a part of a startup already, I was learning a lot, which I could bring to the IPV table. Listening to founder pitches and post-founder IPV due diligence pitches teaches me a lot, which I can take to my startup. So it's a virtuous cycle, and so I just think that it's a win-win situation for me, which is why I went ahead with IPV. Would I invest in IPV? Of course. I think in the last 1 year, I've done over 12 investments with IPV, and I continue to be very committed to the whole IPV story and where they want to take this next. In fact, my first IPV investment was in April of 2021 in a fintech focused on insurance. And believe it or not, within 6 months, I got an exit. So around November, I exited because I had an option to exit. And I think it was handled extremely well. The documentation and everything went very well. And it just we ticked all the boxes, IPV, and so it went very well. So that's the only exit actually I've taken out of my 12 investments. So the other 11, in fact, there have been many add-ons and preemptive which I have exercised. So it's like I said, the process is running very well.